The other day, I had an epiphany. Now, for those of you who are, like, looking at me like, what is an epiphany? I'm so confused. An epiphany is like, basically, it's kind of like part of the climax of the story, but not exactly. But in literature, it's like when, it usually happens a lot during the climax of the story, like, say, in a dramatic, well, not dramatic, like a romance. It's when the main girl, the protagonist, more fancy words, the main girl, say for example, falls in love, like, well, realizes that she's in love with the main dude, and then she's like, well, what do I do now? Because I just dumped him on his sorry ass. Yeah, basically. It's like a sudden realization of your life. And yeah. So before I get to what my epiphany was, I need to tell you a little story that goes along with my epiphany. And I will be drawing, not in front of you guys, but I'll just draw something and then, like, show it to you. So it'll kind of work with the draw of my life, hopefully. Okay, so this drawing is very rushed, but okay, when I was younger, I used to sit around and watch TV a lot. That would be me right there. Yeah. Okay. Same picture. But because of this, I had a bright idea that acting was something I wanted to do. So I like to perform on stage a lot. Like, quite a bit. And, you know, I really love to act. And when I was in second grade, I got this award. Let me just stand for a moment. I got this award from my school, and it says my name. And it says Best Actress, and it says Nestle Elementary, which was the school that I was in second grade. Okay. I put it back to its little spot. Then when I got older, I think it was in second grade too, I discovered this show, and yes, you are allowed to judge me, Hannah Montana. Yeah. And that's when I discovered singing, and I thought, well, maybe I should become a singer in the future. And, you know, I still like to sing and stuff. I just don't plan on making it a career anymore. I mean, like I told you guys, I auditioned for the X Factor, and yeah, then I was still interested in becoming a singer, and that was before my epiphany, of course. But we're not done yet with the story, so let's continue. But in 2008, I went to my cousin's for the summer, and I got introduced, oh my god, to anime, specifically Naruto. And that's when I decided to try to draw. And before then, my drawings looked a little something like this. Keep in mind, this is a person. I'm not sure if they look exactly like this, but kind of like this. Something like, where is it? Like that. Yeah. Just imagine that 10 times worse. Yeah. Then I got introduced to anime, and I got better and better at drawing. And, you know, now people are actually amazed at some of the things that I draw, which is actually quite nice. Like, I created this penguin. This isn't really drawing, but yeah. This is a gift for my friend for her birthday, by the way. So I'm not going to be having him for much longer to give him to my friend actually today. Today's Thursday. I'm just filming it for tomorrow to post. So after actually giving this to him tomorrow, which is Friday, which is the day you're watching this video. Or at least the day that this video is uploaded. So he's actually going to be gone by the time you see this. That's so sad. No. Anyway. And that's the art chapter in my life. Let's continue. Then, when I was around 9, I believe, I started doing this hip-hop class at this place my mom showed me called Dance in Motion. It's like a dancing place. Before then, of course, I used to dance, and I knew I was an okay dancer, but I never really found myself as like a good dancer until I went there, and my mom became friends with my, what's his name? Oh my god. I want to say his name, but like I don't know if I should. Okay, my mom became friends with my dance teacher, basically, and he was really nice, and he said that I was actually one of the best dancers in the class. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but he did say it to the class before, too. So it's like, yeah. Thanks, self-esteem. Yeah. Nail. Okay, so, I'm getting off topic. So, I learned to dance, and I knew that I was good. And there's yet another thing added to my list of things I'm passionate about. And then came another part of my life, and the last thing that I am very passionate about. And thus comes the last chapter of my passions, writing. I didn't really discover writing until when I was, like, recently. You know, before I liked English. I wasn't that into it, like, class-wise, but it was always, like, my best on my CST scores. If you guys don't know what a CST, it's, like, it's the test that, like, it's the California Standardized Test, I think that's what it stands for, and it's like, you take it every year, and it, like, places you where you were supposed to go next year. Class-wise, that is. And, I always got, like, math and language arts were always the best. Language arts was, like, boom, gigantic bar. Math is, like, boom, another gigantic bar, but a bit smaller. So, yeah, language arts was always my best, but I didn't really think of it as, like, something I love to do or anything like that until maybe the beginning of this year, my school year. My history teacher, had us take a test, and we had to write essays for the tests. And I remember, like, I knew a whole bunch of stuff about the question for the essay, so I, like, wrote a bunch, and I was, like, really passionate about it, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna write this, and ooh, I could use better wording there, and meh. And, you know, I got into writing, and I started writing fan fictions, which you guys already know about. I'm currently writing 2. One of them's already out. I'm, like, halfway through that one, and it's called The Order from Nando's, and it's a Harry Styles fanfic. Right here, a Harry Styles fanfic. And, yeah, and then I'm writing another one that isn't out yet. It's a Dance on Fire fanfiction. I don't really have a name for it yet. I'm thinking of calling it The Boy in the Llama Hat, but I'm not sure. Maybe. Really don't know. But I really am passionate about writing, and that leads me to, finally, my epiphany. So, I like to read. I told you guys about this in my last thing. I have, like, a whole pile of books I need to read. And, I was reading, this is like a 2-part thing that made me lead to my epiphany. First one, I was reading, this book. It's called The Last Little Blue Envelope, and it's, sorry, fixing my bra strap. And it's a really good book, and I was reading it, and I was thinking about how excited it made me feel, and how I didn't want to put it down, and I was always reading it, and it made me think about how I want people to do that with my books and my writing. And the second part, I was going through my room the other day, and I found this. Oh, come here. 1 second. This. And it is a book I began to write when I was, like, 10. And the only reason that I actually started writing this book is because I was, it was like, I had a project that I had to write a book about, read a book science fiction, and there are barely any books that I was really interested in that category, except for Percy Jackson, which was considered science fiction. So yeah, but I wanted to write a book for people in the future who are like me and who aren't really interested in that category. And this one, I'm not really intending on finishing this really, so I mean, if you want to take the idea, go ahead. I don't really care. It's called Molly Mangrich. Don't know how I came up with the name. Half Alien Freak. And it's this girl whose parents, one of them is human, one of them is alien. And she just thought that she had weird birthmarks on her face, and for some reason had antenna. But in reality, her dad is half Martian. When her dad is Martian, she's half Martian. Yeah, and I don't know. It's just ideas. So I was really into writing, and now I am too, and that's what led to my epiphany. I was looking at this and I was thinking, wow, maybe I could be writing as a profession. Maybe I should be a writer in the future, and that's my epiphany right there. I mean, I know I'm passionate about all those different things I just told you about. The writing, the acting, the drawing, the singing, the dancing, the whatever else in the world. But I'm most passionate about writing, and that made me think about what I do on a daily basis. And here's what it is. Go to school, come home, possibly eat, do homework, write. Go to sleep. The end. Vicky's day. Magical, isn't it? And it made me realize writing is something that I love to do. I'm either writing in my computer, or I'm writing in my journal, or I'm writing at school, like little stories, or I'm reading. It's just literature in general is what I want to do with my life. It is what I'm most passionate about. It's just everything. Everything. And that leads me to you. You guys are really awesome. And thank you, the 9 of you, for subscribing for me. But I want to know about you guys, you know. Have you guys haven't had any epiphanies before? I mean, I know that, like, I realized what I want to do with my life and that I want to be a writer. But how about you guys? Why don't you tell me in the comments, like, or post a video response even. Just tell me what you want to do with your life, or maybe tell me what you're most passionate about, or anything like that. I'm really, truly interested. Like, for realsies. So please, 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 please tell me. I'm really interested, guys. I don't want this video to be all about me. Honestly, like, I wanted to share with you guys that, and I want to see what your guys is passionate about. You know, you don't have to be specifically artistic like I am. You could be passionate about Star Wars, or passionate about sports. Like, I have a friend who's really passionate about, well, she's passionate about drawing too, but she's really passionate about softball. And I have a friend who's really passionate about, PewDiePie. Like, she's obsessed with that dude. And, you know, it's like, it's just, what are you interested in, you know? What are you passionate about? What are your favorite things to do? What is an epiphany you've maybe had before? I mean, I'm just interested, guys. Please tell me. I'm really interested, guys. Okay. And the song of the week is Wings by Little Mix. It's an inspirational song. I like it a lot. Yeah. So don't click anything on my face yet. When Harry Styles' butterfly tattoo shows up, then click that butterfly on his abs. Yeah. Mama told me not to waste my life.